Picture Britain in the 1950s. Bomb sites still scarred the cities, ration books lingered in kitchen drawers, yet on the forecourt something extraordinary was happening. British saloons were becoming symbols of hope, status, and quiet national pride. A new car wasn't just transport, it was a statement that Britain was moving forward again. Coach builders, engineers, and designers poured everything they had into these machines. Some were built for the factory manager, others were built for kings. Today we're counting down 10 of the greatest British saloons of the 1950s. And the car at number 1 became something no rival could touch. Number 10. MG Magnette ZA. In 1953, MG did something unexpected. They built a saloon. Enthusiasts were furious. MG meant sports cars, not family motoring. But the Magnette ZA proved doubters wrong almost immediately. Designed by Gerald Palmer, it carried a fresh 1.5-litre B-series engine producing 60 horsepower, wrapped in one of the smartest bodies Britain had ever put on a mid-sized saloon. It felt tighter, sharper, more alive than anything else in its class. That was only the beginning. In 1956, the upgraded ZB arrived and briefly became the fastest 1.5-litre saloon money could buy in Britain. Inside, leather seats and proper instrumentation gave ordinary buyers a taste of something special. Would you have expected an MG badge on a family saloon? Many didn't, yet it worked brilliantly. The Magnette proved that British saloons could have genuine driving character, not just comfort. But another manufacturer was about to prove that comfort itself could become an art form. Number 9. Vauxhall Velox. Luton had a different vision entirely. While others chased sportiness, Vauxhall chased glamour. The Velox arrived wearing American-inspired styling that turned heads on grey British streets, wraparound bumpers, bold chrome, a wide confident stance that felt imported from Detroit, yet built entirely in England. Beneath that flamboyant shell sat a straightforward 6-cylinder engine, smooth and dependable, built for effortless cruising rather than outright speed. Families loved it. It felt like driving a slice of optimism through austerity Britain. There was one reason this car became unforgettable: it simply looked like nothing else on the road. Critics occasionally dismissed it as style over substance. But buyers didn't care. They wanted to feel modern, and the Velox delivered that feeling every single morning. Can you imagine pulling onto your street in one of these during 1957? Heads would have turned instantly. Yet the next car brought something far more serious to the table: genuine engineering pedigree. Number 8. Riley Pathfinder. Riley built cars for people who understood engineering, not just appearances. The Pathfinder, introduced in 1953, carried a torquey 2.4-litre engine originally developed for the earlier RM series, delivering brisk performance wrapped in handsome, understated coachwork. It had a reputation among enthusiasts as a genuine driver saloon, something increasingly rare as the decade pushed towards comfort-first design. The cabin felt like a gentleman's study: wood veneer, deep leather, dials arranged with real purpose. Few buyers expected what happened next. Police forces across Britain began adopting the Pathfinder for its blend of pace and stability, giving it an unexpected reputation on the nation's roads. But mechanical issues with its rear suspension setup eventually dented its reputation among private owners. Still, for those who valued handling over showroom flash, nothing else quite compared. Would this have been the saloon you chose over flashier rivals? The next car solved comfort and image in a completely different way with unmistakable presence. Number 7. Humber Super Snipe. Few saloons carried themselves with the sheer physical presence of the Humber Super Snipe. This was a car built for embassies, for senior officers, for anyone who needed to arrive somewhere and be noticed immediately. Under that long bonnet sat a substantial straight-six engine designed to haul serious weight with quiet authority rather than aggression. Inside, acres of leather and polished wood created an atmosphere closer to a gentleman's club than a motorcar. The ride was soft, composed, deliberately unhurried, built for comfort on long British journeys rather than back-road thrills. That wasn't the whole story, though. The Super Snipe also became a favorite with the royal family for estate and touring duties, quietly cementing its reputation at the very top of British society. Do you think this kind of understated authority still commands respect today? The higher we climb, the more impressive these saloons become. Because the next entry brought genuine sporting DNA into the luxury conversation. Number 6. Wolseley 690. The Wolseley 690 looked every inch the archetypal British saloon upright grille, that famous illuminated badge glowing softly at night, a shape that said authority without shouting about it. Beneath the bonnet sat a 2.6-litre six-cylinder engine shared with contemporary Austin models, offering smooth, unhurried performance suited perfectly to its character. It became a genuine favourite with British police forces throughout the decade, patrolling motorways with quiet dignity. That was only the beginning of its double life. Away from duty, private buyers loved its blend of solidity and old-world charm, with a cabin trimmed in leather and polished wood that felt reassuringly traditional. Handling was safe rather than sporting, built for steady confidence over spirited cornering. Would you have trusted this saloon on a long motorway run in 1956? Most owners certainly did. But the next car brought something the Wolseley never attempted: genuine luxury pedigree stretching back generations, and a badge that meant something entirely different. Number 5. Daimler Conquest. Daimler carried royal warrants long before the 1950s began, and the Conquest was built to keep that reputation alive for a new generation of buyers. Introduced in 1953, it used a 2.4-litre six-cylinder engine and, crucially, offered Daimler's fluid flywheel transmission, a genuinely clever alternative to conventional clutches that made driving remarkably smooth for the era. The Conquest Century version added extra performance, appealing to buyers who wanted Daimler refinement without sacrificing pace entirely. Inside, the craftsmanship remained unmistakably Daimler: quality leather, real wood, an atmosphere of quiet British formality. Yet another surprise awaited buyers. A rare drop-head coupe version brought genuine elegance to the range, proving Daimler hadn't lost its flair for occasion. Would you have chosen Daimler refinement over raw performance? Many buyers of the era certainly did. This wasn't even the most luxurious car of the decade, though the real luxury legend was still climbing towards us, and it was about to arrive in style. Number 4. Armstrong Siddeley Sapphire 346. Armstrong Siddeley built aircraft engines before cars, and that aerospace heritage shows in everything about the Sapphire 346. Launched in 1953, its 3.4-litre six-cylinder engine used hemispherical combustion chambers, producing around 125 horsepower in standard form. Buyers could even specify a Wilson preselector gearbox, letting drivers preselect gears with a small lever before engaging them with a simple pedal press. Remarkably advanced engineering for the period. With twin carburetors fitted, performance sharpened considerably, pushing the Sapphire past the magical 100 miles per hour mark. That detail alone made it one of the swiftest large saloons Britain produced that decade. The cabin matched the ambition: walnut veneer, leather seating, and a build quality that felt genuinely aeronautical in its precision. Few rivals combined comfort and pace quite this convincingly. You won't want to miss the final 3, because engineering ambition alone wasn't enough to win the ultimate crown. The next car brought something Rover buyers still talk about with genuine affection today. Number 3. Rover P4. They called it Auntie Rover, and the nickname was affectionate, not cruel. The P4, launched in 1949 but truly defining the decade that followed, offered buyers a range of six-cylinder engines, from the 75 horsepower 2.1-litre unit up to the punchier 90 horsepower 2.6-litre 6 added later in the range. What made the P4 special wasn't outright speed, it was the sense of unshakable, dependable quality wrapped around every journey. The cabin felt warm, traditional, deeply reassuring, with leather seats and simple, honest instrumentation. That reassurance built extraordinary loyalty. The P4 attracted royalty and everyday professionals alike, remaining in production for an astonishing 15 years because Britain simply refused to let it go. If you're enjoying Britain's automotive history, you'll understand why so many families kept theirs for decades. But the real luxury legend of the 1950s was still waiting, and when it finally arrived, no British saloon could match its presence. Number 2. Jaguar Mark 7 and 8. Jaguar changed everything with the Mark 7. Launched in 1950, its 3.4-litre XK straight-six engine, the same twin-cam unit powering the legendary XK120 sports car, produced 160 horsepower, giving this large saloon genuine sporting pace alongside real luxury. Top speed exceeded 100 miles per hour, an astonishing figure for a car this size during the early 1950s. In 1952 it became the first Jaguar offered with automatic transmission, broadening its appeal enormously. The interior wrapped occupants in leather and polished wood, yet the driving experience remained genuinely thrilling. By 1956, the Mark 8 arrived with an uprated 190 horsepower engine, sharpening performance further while retaining that unmistakable presence. This was the saloon that proved Britain could build genuine performance luxury, not just comfort alone. The real luxury legend was still to come, though. Because one British manufacturer had spent decades perfecting an entirely different kind of magic, and their moment was about to arrive. Number 1. Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. Some cars are simply built differently, and the Silver Cloud, launched in 1955, remains one of the finest examples Britain ever produced. Its 4.9-litre straight-six engine, refined and whisper-quiet, delivered smooth, effortless power through a 4-speed automatic gearbox borrowed and refined for British roads. Rolls-Royce famously refused to publish horsepower figures, preferring the word adequate, a masterclass in quiet British confidence. Inside, Wilton carpets, hand-finished leather, and polished walnut created an atmosphere unmatched by any rival on this list. The chassis itself was nearly half as rigid again as its predecessor, giving remarkable composure at speed. This was the car that defined an era of British luxury: elegant, unhurried, utterly serene. It became the default choice for aristocracy, business leaders, and anyone who simply wanted the very best Britain could engineer. Which of these 10 would you have parked in your garage? Let us know below, because this Silver Cloud earned its legend one silent mile at a time. From MG's spirited saloon to Rolls-Royce's effortless masterpiece, these 10 cars capture exactly what made 1950s Britain remarkable: ambition, craftsmanship, and quiet national pride, rebuilding itself one showroom at a time. Every manufacturer on this list contributed something unforgettable to Britain's automotive story, and together they defined an entire generation of motoring. Perhaps your own family once owned one of these very saloons, parked proudly outside a home much like yours. Tell us its story in the comments below, and help this piece of British motoring history live on. And join us next time as we rewind through more of Britain's motoring history.